I thought we'd have a little bit of fun making pastry today. Well, the reason being I was in the supermarket and I picked up a 500 gram block of ready-made short crust pastry. Had a look at the ingredients on the back label, 13 I counted. It's not made with butter, it's made with palm oil. There were emulsifiers, preservatives, you name it. Obviously the single-use plastic packaging, and it cost £1.60. So I came home and I thought, yeah, we can do it. Just 5 ingredients, a 500 gram block is going to cost £1.40. It's made with butter. I enrich my short crust pastry with an egg yolk, and I'll show you how easy it is to make. And I thought, what I'm going to do, I'm going to time myself, because I thought if you say to yourself, I haven't got the time to be making pastry, I reckon I can have this made in 2 minutes and I'm not going to pre-weigh any ingredients. So I'll stop this video and restart it with the timer going. Okay, so before I get my timer going, I've got a machine. If you haven't got a machine, you can still make it by hand, but use room temperature butter. I've got my mixer bowl with the blade attached on my scales, and I'm working in pounds and ounces here. I've got chilled butter, I've got plain flour, an egg, and cold water, and some salt. Now, the reason I work in pounds and ounces, partly historical, because I was brought up on pounds and ounces, but also it's so much easier then to calculate how much liquid you need for your pastry dough, because so often a recipe will say add sufficient liquid to make a dough. And if you've never made pastry before, how do you know how much liquid to add? And if you add too much, your pastry dough is super sticky and you have to keep adding extra flour, and then it's tough. If you don't add enough liquid, then you can't get it to form a ball and it won't easily roll out. So for every ounce of flour, I use half fat. And for every ounce of fat, I use 1 tablespoon of liquid. So I'm going to be using 10 ounces of plain flour, a pinch of salt, half fat, so that's 5 ounces of chilled butter, and then 5 tablespoons of liquid. 1 tablespoon of liquid will be my egg yolk. The other 4 tablespoons will make up to the 5, if that makes sense. Right, let's go. I'm going to stop this video, start it again, and just see how long it takes. Okay, I'm going in 10 ounces of flour, plain flour. As I say, you can make this by hand, but you need room temperature butter. Pinch of salt, and then I want 5 ounces of chilled butter. So I've got 250 grams here, so I want just over half for 5 ounces. Chop that into pieces like that. It's making me nervous. Get that on the scales, on the machine. Like that. Get the rest of that butter in. And then down here, I'm going to separate my egg because I only want the egg yolk. The reason I don't use the whole egg is it's not easy to measure the white because, you know, it goes a bit stretchy and gloopy. So I freeze the white in a silicone mould and then use it later for meringues. So that egg yolk can go in a jug. So that's my first tablespoon of liquid. And then I need another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give that a little mix around. Just going to drizzle that over my ingredients, put the lid on and mix. And there's my pastry dough, all done. We're at 2 minutes, 29 seconds. And then what I tend to do is just turn that out onto the work surface like that. The bowl's nice and clean. I know I won't need any extra flour for rolling out because the consistency is just right. So we've got 500 grams of pastry dough there, done in just over 2 minutes. And we know what's gone into it.